Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our Public Utility Commission meeting on this May 8th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'll call this meeting to order. Commissioner Thompson, would you give us a word of prayer, please?
Yes. Let us all bow our heads. Father, you instructed us to pray for and lift up our nation and those who are in authority. So in obedience to your word, we pray for and lift up our nation and our leaders. We lift up our community leaders, the mayor, city leaders, governor, and state officials, our president, his cabinet, and all those who are instrumental in the leading of our community, city, state, and our nation. Father, we thank you. We praise your holy name. And just one more request, Father, please shield us all from all hurt, harm, and danger. And we be sure to give you all the praise and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Let us all say amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Thompson. Will we all please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for standing and complying with that. Next item on the agenda, approval of the agenda.
I'll go ahead and move the motion that we approve the agenda for May 8th, 2023.
Have a motion, looking for a second.
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Thompson. All those in favor, by show of hands, approval of the agenda. All right, thank you. Next item, to all our visitors, welcome. Thank you. And any visitor comments? Turn it down. No other visitor comments. We have one visitor on the agenda, well, a couple. Ms. Sabrina Thorpe.
Thank you for this opportunity. And I am here this evening to follow up regarding the Friendship Circle project. Over the weekend, I observed your workers, I think because I saw the utilities truck there, installing, well, I guess completing the installation of what I would call a privacy fence. Because I remember those fences, they probably were used for privacy during the 70s and the 80s, and they probably do not exist anymore at anybody's house, but that's what has been installed in our neighborhood, and I'm not sure if it's for privacy or what the goal is for that. But I know during the last meeting, Ms. Thompson asked the commission to go back and talk about and provide us with pricing for the wall for noise pollution. So I'm here just to follow up with that, please.
Okay.
Well, we did go and get a landscaper to give us advice on what kind of trees and what could be put in. He's writing up a plan right now. He said he would probably have it tomorrow.
And that's a plan for what?
Putting trees, a row of trees. He does not, he's also going to write up how well he thinks it will stop the noise, because he's not real confident of it stopping noise.
Yeah, I probably think it probably wouldn't, because the trees you would plant would be pretty much young trees, and we're looking for something, a resolution for right now, or as soon as possible, not 20 years from now. So I'm just asking for what your vice chair requested, at least three proposals for the cost of the privacy, not the privacy, but the wall.
I got a price for a wall. The initial cost was $180,000.
Okay, so you only have one still?
That was one that was acquired over a year ago.
Okay, because I thought during the last meeting, it was a request that we bring other proposals in for tonight. That's why I'm here, just to find out what your follow-up is.
Well, stop me if I'm wrong, but in the work session last Monday, we discussed the wall quotes. I think the wall is more than, we've got a couple concerns. The main concern is that any type of wall or structure is not going to stop the noise pollution because of how the train tracks run. So there's a road running, y'all stop me if I'm off base here, but the train, runs north. In no way would the wall block any train noise. And I think, Al Ray, you got some decimal readings?
Yeah, out of just curiosity for me, I don't know anybody to do, but I just did decibel readings with the little app I did on my phone in front of, I'm gonna say your mom's house, because that's what it's always been to me, and the plant. And there was not any significant difference between about 52 decibels according to it, and I'm not no expert. It's just I'm curious, I want to know. 52 up by your house, the low end, and down by the plant was 57, just ambient noise. 72 decibels down by the plant when 2 cars went by, and I went up by your house. When I sat there, it was in the same range of around 70 decibels. And like I said, this is no perfect instrument that I have, just cell phone. And I did the same thing over my house out of curiosity of what I hear, trains and trucks and everything else. And to my dismay, just sitting there, it was 67, and when I could hear the train, it went up to maybe 70 at my house. But it was just, and I'm surrounded by trees. So I don't know if that renders any solution or anything, but my concern was the noise, the ambient noise that's there with a car or a truck passing. I didn't get to observe the train. I did not. But so that's just the information I did on my own to try to hear what everybody's hearing.
So is it the train noise or the street noise?
It's both.
It's both.
Yeah.
So any wall that we install is not going to fix the train.
Well, first
Right,
thing,
because the train, there's not a wall that we could build that would block the train noise, correct?
well, we're not asking you to stop it. We're asking to reduce the noise level, because prior to cutting down the trees were a barrier to the noise from the train and the road, the street. But now that the trees are gone, now we're getting the full impact of the noise.
But our location is not in between these houses and the train, correct?
But the trees previously separated the noise from the train and the road and the houses. So the trees are no longer there.
Right, so
and
we're
that's
on
why-
the west side, and the train's on the north side.
Okay, again, we're not talking about, the goal is not to stop the noise, number one.
Right.
Number two, the goal is to reduce the noise. And what I'm saying is the fence that's currently there, that you've placed there now, is, as I said, in the 70s and probably 60s, 70s, were used for privacy. Because I have a video, and I took pictures too, of them getting this flimsy piece of material and just inserting it in between the links in the fence. And again, back in the 60s and the 70s, that same material was used as privacy. So I know there's a big difference in a privacy fence and a wall for a sound barrier. So what we're asking for, and I was hoping that this was considered when you were doing the planning for this project, that there was consideration for the people that live there. And again, we're not going to go back to what did and did not happen in the past, because I probably wasn't here. And pretty much on that street is senior citizens. So they probably did not read the paper or see whatever notices that were put out announcing this project. So again, what I'm here now is to ask for resolution, some type of improvement to the actions that have been taken, which now increases the noise, which is a noise pollution, from the train as well as the traffic.
Sure, Attorney.
Again, the project went through the notice requirement, had to go through in order to get the project back. So, but you've been coming back to this for a long time.
Yes, sir, I have.
So, now, I'm sorry, I was talking about them. But
Okay.
you too, but we've been
Yep.
at this spot for the same time.
Yes.
For a long time. But it's always been my understanding that the commissioners came to the conclusion that spending $180,000 on a wall was not something that they were inclined to do. That, I don't know if there's ever been a formal vote on that, but that's my understanding. And the other consideration is just what Jim was talking about. There's not an appreciable increase in the noise based on the building of that facility. And so I know we keep coming back to the same spot, but at this point, it seems that if the fence is out, the wall, the fence is out, the only thing left is what General Manager Walker is working on with regard to the trees. And it's my understanding that the landscaper is saying that you can put up the trees, but it's probably not going to help. But so in terms of answering your concern this evening, I believe that the wall is not a consideration, and the report won't be back on the trees until tomorrow. And certainly, General Manager can provide you and everybody else with whatever that report says.
Okay, before we move on, I just have one question. When you did that assessment, you know, measuring the sound and all, was that done prior to the trees being cut down or afterwards? Or
No.
was there both?
What I did,
Yes, sir.
the last meeting you attended,
Yes, sir.
I left and I drove over there and did that. That's something I did strictly for my curiosity.
Okay, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, because not knowing, you know, if you're not there every day, you don't know what happens there every day.
Right.
And I went and I spent a little time there in front of the plant and up by your mom's house, your house. I'm going to say your mom forever because in the heart. Just out of curiosity. And when I went home, I was still curious because, and I did it at home, and I was like, you know, but there was no professional stuff. It was, like I said, I downloaded the app on my phone to help me try to understand the difference in the noise and just sitting there and when a car goes by or if a train went by. And I got cars, but I didn't get trains.
Okay.
And
Well, I've heard anything else for me.
Ms. Tharp, we appreciate you coming. I'd just like to say, we want to please, especially our senior citizens. Now, I understand that the $180,000 is a bit too much. You don't think that the privacy fence is going to work.
No, ma'am.
And I do think that if we get the trees, that should work, okay? I'm hoping it will, with both of them there. So if you don't think so, you tell us, besides the $180,000 wall, what else can we do?
Well, you only have one estimate, so I was on I-95 going toward I-95 and I-16 intersection, and they have a different wall, and it looks like the petition you all have there is clear. So I don't know if Mr. Walker considered that, you know, the price of that. So, you know, you just have one estimate, and normally there are 3 estimates that are used for consideration, not one. So if you want to go on one and make your final decision on that, just let me know, and, you know, I'll move on to the next step. I keep coming, and I just have not got a final decision, like, okay, this is it. I just need to know. I'm asking.
There was 3 different types of fence that we had quotes on, so sort of 3 different levels.
that was on the fence, correct? Not the retaining.
That
Well,
was sound bearing.
And there was one that was like
barriers
240, there
that hung on
was
the
one that
fence
was like
lights.
240, right, or something?
Excuse me?
There was like one that was 240 or 360, there was even one more than the 180, correct? There was 3 levels of walls that we evaluated.
There were, the wall that was suggested was what was on 96
Yeah.
up by
Low subdivision,
Magnolia Hill.
Magnolia.
Yes, going toward Bonnet or Kathleen, one of those two cities, no, not sure which one. But again, you know, we keep talking about this, I keep asking questions, and if you just say, nope, we're not doing that, just let me know. Because right now, you know, we have so many different things, and your attorney gave me almost like a no that, you know, we're not going to do this, so I just need to know.
Yeah, but I'll make that decision.
Okay, well, I'm just listening to what you said. That's it. You know, I'm considering all options. That's why I asked, do you have anything else for me?
No, we are evaluating, we're going to evaluate at the next work meeting, we will evaluate the landscaping, what it entails, what the plan is, how big the trees are, what the cost is.
Okay, yeah, the trees will be good for the next generation. We're going to just be honest right there, because it takes a while for trees to mature. And I just don't
Well, it
think
depends
you're
on
gonna
what
put-
size trees they are when they're planted.
Yeah, I just don't think you're going to put mature trees, plant mature trees. But anyway, I'm not going to guess. I'll see what you have to say. But right now, the fence that's there, well, I guess it really looks like a privacy fence. Is that what it is, or is it declared a sound area? What was your
Those
reason
are,
for ordering that?
those are plastic slats that went into the fence.
Yes, sir.
The vertical went down, and they do bounce sound. But it is only a 6-foot fence.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we just need a taller fence, a much taller fence that has a capacity to reduce the noise. And I would also suggest that you look at other avenues of financing, maybe ask the state, federal government, because it is a federal project. So have you considered that, asking other agencies for funding? You know, because you all don't have to do it on your own, since, as you said, this is for all citizens of Fort Valley. So let the whole state and the federal government contribute to this project for all citizens. We don't have to wait for the utilities. You know, you all got partners who may be able to provide financing. I'll ask as well. So you ask and I ask, and we'll come up with something. I'll work with you. But I just don't want you to waste money putting up a privacy fence and then planting trees that it's going to take 20 years to mature and think that we're going to be happy. Because we're not.
I would suggest that after Mr. Walker get his information from the landscaper tomorrow, that we could look and see what his information entails, and then I guess we could go back and reconsider some of the stuff that you're talking about now.
Okay, and I have photos of the other noise protection thing that I found on I-75 going toward I-16. I can forward to you. And again, you can look at the pricing on that too, because who knows, it may be better pricing. Again, most estimates, they're normally 3 and not 1.
And what time of the day usually there is advancement on the noise?
Well, the train comes at all times. You know, I've heard it at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gone most of the day. But during the time, I'm there. And, you know, maybe Mr. Horton can talk to some of the other residents in that community to find out, because, you know, they have opinions too. As I said, they're senior citizens. And I don't expect senior citizens to come out to this meeting, which I've invited, but, you know, they're watching the local news at this hour. So they're not going to come to a meeting. But I'm talking to them and they're talking to me. So I'm not speaking just for Sabrina Thorpe. I'm speaking for that small community.
No, I know you're not speaking just for yourself. I know you are about that community
Yes, sir.
all the way. And
Yes, sir.
I think that let's get alternate pricing on the wall, so we'll have comparisons. And if we have to reach out to another entity, county or city, or to figure it out, you know, I don't know, but let's get our numbers and let's start reaching out to figure out who we can get to assist in making this happen, because it's a little long in the tooth, and like I say, trees may work, but when they start working may be the issue when they're mature,
Yes, sir.
get tall enough. But let's make a move and find out what it costs, a couple of estimates, and we might need to start reaching out to our other partners, entities in this city, in this county.
I'll get them.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and thank you for your time.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
And I will go and talk to some other folks too.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Next person on the agenda is Sunday Raw. All right, not here. Next is Miss Mary. Mary Adamson, but I'm gonna call you Miss Mary.
I appreciate that. First of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Everyone. I'm going to make it short and sweet. It's not being drawn out, so everybody's going to get home for supper in just a few minutes, okay? On April the 28th, a little after 4 in the afternoon, I had a little tap on my shoulder and asked me to come to the office. I've been to the office a few times, to be honest with you, but this was something that changed my life, blew my mind, went through all of it. But the main thing is that it was wrongful. This was a wrongful termination that took place on April 28th. Prior to this, as I said, I want the truth known to everyone. I have been written up before for things that I did not agree with. If you have the paperwork tonight, I don't know if you do or not. There were things that were, I'm trying to keep emotion out, I'm sorry. Okay, so when I was fired, HR was not present, okay? And to let you know, I had been to Mr. Clay Walker, and I walked in his office with concerns, major concerns. My concerns at that time was the way that she was treating not only I, but I'm only speaking for myself, that is what I can do tonight. But it was a lot of things going on that are not right. I spoke with Clay and HR. I expressed my concerns there. Once that happened, I have been retaliated against this whole time. Retaliated. When I walk in the morning, I've been told, "Are you ready for me to help you write that resume yet?" Who walks into a workplace with this? Who steps into this? Why won't somebody stand up for this? I have been at the Utility Commission for almost 24 years. Do I give 100% every day? No. Do I wish I had? Yes, but we're human. We carry other things with us all the time. And there is no way that any one of you or anyone, except for the Lord Jesus Christ, can say that they do. I have been in this community. I know so many faces. I love my utility people. I love my utility customers, trying at times. Customer service is a really hard job. For someone to step up, number one, and to take on a position such as this, you have to know what you're walking into. If not, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings. You're going to eventually hurt somebody's feelings. Nobody wants to pay a bill, okay? Nobody does, and that's always a problem. Well, this started getting a lot rougher. I think social media carried this a good bit when the Social Security numbers were coming about, okay? As an older citizen, I can now say, and along with a lot of other people, I totally understand when someone doesn't want to give out their social, because we know what type of world we live in today. And let me tell you, it's not one that you just hand your social over to, even if you know the person that's standing in front of you. You don't do that. I was wrongfully terminated and have been experiencing abuse from retaliation since this has happened. And let me take just one moment, okay? I just want to thank my family for being here to back me today and support me. My co-workers, friends, I appreciate it because I want my voice to be heard. I'm not done. I'm not over. I didn't want to walk in here. I've been called. Oh, Lord, such and such. Get a lawyer. Go down there, sue them. I don't want to sue anybody. I just want to work my time out. I am good at customer service. I'm not saying that Erin is the worst person in the world, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that she's a brand new manager who stepped in to a whole lot to take on. But unfortunately, I'm paying the price for that one. Well, things that I can bring up that I feel like were illegal, that's taken on. She has not been doing the drafts on time, and so she wanted to go back and collect late fees for drafts that were not produced to the bank at the time. Not only that, as far as a late fee day, this is when we put late fees on to people that have not paid their bill on time, okay? A list is to be run, and when that customer comes to the drive-through, to the window, over the phone, we are to tell them they have a late fee added when there is no late fee that's been put on there. Now, if this was 1, 2 times that happened, no, there's more. And I understand Erin has to have training to do these things because she doesn't know this, and I get that. But do not ask me to take a penny from someone when the bill says something different. When it comes up on my computer and says you owe $100, don't ask me to ask you for $120 or $105. I'm not going to do it. If it's not in front of me and on the computer, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to anyone. And I would hope no one would do that to me either. At this point, I will say she is being very unprofessional about this. I have been in to talk to her, and this is sad that everything that I say can be recorded and, you know, she can say this or that, but I don't have the opportunity. I'm not having her recorded. She answers to you correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she answers to Crystal.
Okay. And that's just it. We never see her. I'm tired of, I know we have to protect our managers to a certain point because customer service, we're the first people that anyone sees. But I'm constantly told to say, I'm not available. And she's available. She's playing on her phone. She's available. The reason I can say these things is because I walk into her office quite often, and she is on her telephone. Let's go back just a few weeks ago. I was written up. I was told I was insubordinate, okay? Because I wouldn't collect the monies that I wasn't supposed to. While she calls me into the office, she is on her personal cell phone, and she says to me, hang on just a moment. I said, okay. She's talking to a roofing company about putting a roof on her house. Now, this is when I'm called in to be spoken to about monies being put on the utility bills that shouldn't be at that point because she failed to do her part of the job, and then calls me in there, and I listened. I think it was 12 to 14 minutes that I had written down. I don't know where I put those notes, but yes, 12 to 14 minutes about her roof being redone. But we go back to this also. HR was not present. I have learned that they knew a week before this was going to happen, and you knew. Is that correct? Am I wrong on that one?
There was being talked about 3 days previously, and determination had not been made, no.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. But I'm here. I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense. I'll be honest. I'm nervous as I don't know what. And I just tell you, I've never stood up and spoke to a group of people like this before, except for back in college. And I don't think I did so good in that formal speaking. But I just want to make it clear how my situation is being handled. And I love my job. I still don't say it's not my job at this point because I have hope until this night is over. But I dearly love my job. Do I get tired of people hollering at me, cussing at me? Yeah, that gets old. But guess what? There are customers that come in, they look at me, they smile, we chat for a moment. This is a small town. Everybody knows everybody's business almost. But they can leave there with a smile. I can pray for someone. I do not have a problem with that. I can stick my hand right through that window and we'll do it right then and there because everybody, not only me, is going through something. But this all comes back to, why didn't somebody help me? Clay? I came to you, I told you I was being micromanaged, I told you, and I trusted in you. And I want to be able to trust you. But after that, retaliation started, and I know that's my fault there because I was scared at that point for my job. I was scared at that point for my job. And once I got back, I got called into her office to let me know that I did not handle it properly, that I should have gone through the chain of command. Guess what? My chain of command was not there. That's why I came to you. Number one, Erin left. All she says is pick up my bag, make sure that money bag gets put up, Mary. Got it. Number two, Crystal. Crystal appears, I have no idea what her job is other than she's supposed to be a supervisor, but I see her maybe once or twice a week, maybe, for just a tad, but it's not a open door person that you feel like you could just walk in and say, look, I need your help. This is what's happening. So, commissioners, I am here to appeal this. I'm a good hard worker. Mistakes? Oh, heck yeah, we've all made them. It's a learning process. It shall continue till we die. But I'm 59 and a half years old. I've done this for a long time. Not saying I'm the best, but saying that I think I'm pretty daggum good, to be honest with you. Not trying to be arrogant about that, but I'm just saying because of learning, from watching others, from listening to others. But do not ask me to do something that is not legal. I mean, bank drafts, think about it. If it's your fault that she didn't do bank drafts and we charge these late fees, I mean, is that right? Is that policy?
It is not policy.
Thank you. Thank you. And sir, as I can go on, nobody likes everybody. Hey, that's okay. We're not there to like everybody. But we're there to keep each other's back to a certain extent, okay? You may not like me. You may not. It's okay. But I'm still going to serve you. I'm still going to give you as much as I can. I have been called into the office for things like not helping, not Mary, do not help a customer write their checks. I have customers who have cerebral palsy, who have a lot of different problems with their hands, arthritis. I have a lot of my customers that like come to me. I think it's not because customer service is not doing their job on that end, it's just because they've seen me and known me longer. So they will walk up and say, fill out this check for me, please. Well, I do. But I get turned into the office, well, get called into the office, I should say, to say that I'm not allowed to do those things. Don't help those customers. They could have got somebody else to write it for them. Really, they live by themselves. All kids are gone. I'm not supposed to do simple things like that. That's not part of my job, but that's who I am. Okay? That's who I am. I don't know how to plead my case any better. I was asked by 2 lawyers if they could represent me. Like I said, I want my job. It was done wrong. She's new. She does not follow policy. She changes policy every time we turn around. And we have to get used to that. Change is not always bad. It can be good. I understand that. But as an older employee, older person, I didn't come up playing on computers or not writing at school and typing and learning all the computer savvy technology that goes on now. So yes, you can say I'm a step behind right now. But the only reason that I'm that step behind is because I haven't been shown. We were promised to be coached 30 minutes every 2 weeks. We have yet to see 30 minutes every 2 weeks. These are things that we don't know. I can send an email, I can do basic stuff, but this newer stuff, I never had to do it before. That's not my fault. It's just, I haven't been shown how. I'm not stupid. I can learn. I can still do it. But my thing is, y'all know this wasn't right. Clay, this wasn't right. Because there always should be checks and balances, not only for monies, but for people and what they do to others. And at this moment, which I would not do, because they're scared for their jobs. Just call out the rest of our customer service friends. They all have something to say, but they're scared, just like them. They're scared. So I'm here before you tonight. Is this it? Is it over and done with? Have I done what I was supposed to do? Again, have I made mistakes? Like I said, a ton. If we could all go back, if we all had that big red button sitting there that we could just go, oh, delete that. I meant to say this. I should have done that. You can't do that because it's not coming back. So again, wrongful termination, retaliation coming back on me. And for my fear that I let set in, I did not go back to Mr. Walker. I did not go back. He wasn't aware at that time. He was just aware of the first time. I could go on and on. I wish I had some big brilliant words to give you, something to say, hey, look, do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not just blowing hot air. I'm not here to do that. I could have approached this differently, which I chose not to do. I just wanted to be heard. Jeff Lundy, you know what that feels like. Yes, sir. We just want to be heard. So now, I turn this over, put it in your hands, your final decision. I'm not going to retaliate at all. I love the Fort Valley Utility Commission. I have worked with some of the best, honest. I've worked with some that I didn't care for too much. But at the end of the day, I had to back. God bless. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mary. All right, that was, thank you so much, Ms. Mary, for your comments, reflecting on your career. I think the going forward, we'll have to follow the process before it does this, and we'll depend heavily on Attorney Jones to keep us legal, to make sure we're following the process to put in place with the policy. Okay? Moving on to our next item on our agenda, approval of the minutes.
I go ahead and obtain a motion that we go ahead and approve the minutes for the public meeting that's set for April 10th, 2023.
A second.
And work session for May 1st, 2023.
A second, both of them.
Motion is second by Mr. Watson, Commissioner Watson. All those in favor of the approval of the minutes for April 10th, 2023 and May 1st, 2023, by show of hands. All right, thank you. On to our next agenda item, activity report, April 2023.
Did you have any questions about the activity reports?
I don't have any questions. Any questions? No questions for our next item. Activity, the financial overview, operations. And moving on to old business, new business. It's the John E. Sullivan Road Loop tie-in.
This was the John E. Sullivan extension, the 8-inch line that came down in front of Sterling Place to tie it in underneath to loop So it's not 2 dead-end lines. And the total with contingency is $14,850. And the staff recommends approval.
$14,850, that includes the contingency.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for General Manager Walker on this project?
Is that a not-to-exceed price?
It won't exceed that price. That's, yeah.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to accept this project.
So moved.
Have a motion, second?
No second.
Second. All those in favor by show of hands. Any opposed? All right. Thank you, you got it. Next item, executive session. Are we in need of an executive session?
For the personnel issue and a land.
Executive session for personnel and land acquisition? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to leave public meeting, go into executive session.
I'll make that
Call
motion.
for a motion that we leave public meeting and go into executive session at this time.
Motion, second?
I'll second it.
Second. All those in favor by show of hands. Thank you so much. Yeah.
But I just want to stand up here and I want to speak. I don't understand the circumstances surrounding the situation with Miss Merritt. All I'm here for is just to speak on her character. I mean, I have been a customer of the Utility Commission for the majority of my life. I was born and raised in Fort Valley, spent the majority of my life here. I don't know Miss Mary outside the Utility Commission. I don't socialize with her. I don't know what, but I'm here to tell you, if you get rid of her, you're getting rid of the best person that you have down there in customer service. I tell you, when I walk in the door, that's who I look for, because nobody else knows what the hell they do. I mean, I don't, because I'm very prone to going in there, needing to pay multiple bills with not a single invoice. And they're over there like scratching their head, okay. This lady right here knows exactly what I need and how to do it and how to get it done. If you all fire her, you're making a huge mistake. She may make some mistakes here and there, but I'm sure you do too. I don't know, like I said, I don't know the situation surrounding, or the circumstances surrounding the situation. I have no idea. I don't. But that's a good lady right there, and she does you all a good job. And she takes care of people, and people know who she is. And if you get rid of her, there's going to be a lot of upset people. I mean, so you better consider it. Because I'm telling you, this lady right here is exactly who the majority of the people walk in there looking for. Because everybody else there, they don't know who you are. They don't know nothing about you. Well, what you there for, really? Well, other than maybe pay the bill. You're wrong. You're wrong. Unless she's done something dire, I mean, you better reconsider. I mean, you're just wrong. Thank you for letting me speak.
Yes, sir. For the record, we did motion and vote to leave public meeting to go into executive session. At this time, if we have others, we'd like to hear them speak before we actually enter executive session? Okay.
My name is Susan Gandy. Mary is my sister. I'm the baby with 3 girls. I have been with Dr. Whitaker for almost 26 years. I'm loyal and dedicated to them. They are Christian people. They love my work. I love their work. We get married. We are dedicated to our jobs. 24 years, 26 years means something. We love our patients, our customers. We help them do things. We have a ton of Hispanic workers and customers. If they call me at 4:58 and somebody's not there to speak Spanish, I'll say, could you please call the next day? I'm sorry, I can't help you. Unfortunately, I can't speak Spanish. Wish I could. But they know to call back because they understand there's not somebody there to help them in the way that they can speak to them. I just wanted to say I love my sister. She's dedicated and loyal, and please consider this. And thank you for your time.
Thank you for your,
Gary.
thank you for your comments. Anyone else would like to speak?
Hello, my name is Alexis Ellis. I've been on this there since I was 17. I've been working in those departments. Just want to speak on her character. My husband was killed in a head-on collision wrong-way driver February 24th. Being that the bill was in his name, I was very limited to what I could do. But this lady, when I tell you she took care of me, not only my bill, she prayed with me, she cried with me, and she made sure she got me all the help that she could get me. So when I told Kendra Jones I would be at this meeting, I meant that from the bottom of my heart. This is the only meeting I ever been to, and I'm 35 years old. But I came because I don't know her personally. But what she does before Valley, we can't stand to lose.
Thank you. Any other? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Rosa Montgomery, and I'm Mary's mom. And I'm just proud of her and I have another daughter that lives in Florida that works a good while here at Valley. I just want y'all to know that she is a special woman. She's a Christian woman. And y'all need to really think and pray when y'all make a decision on what y'all, she is, like I say, Christian, and that's all God help. And y'all just thank well people for preaching things.
Thank you.
I wasn't going to speak last, swore I should. And I've been holding this since 2017. I was a customer service manager here for almost 20 years. And most of the commissioners were not on board. In fact, I don't think any of you were. There was no reason that came right to that outright. So it was a different time setting and under different management where I was not afforded an opportunity to appeal. And although I did not get fired, I was not terminated, I walked out because of the constant harassment and bullying and degrading and alienating. And I went to work every day and cried. And I came home every day and cried. And I didn't have the ability to go and talk to anybody. Nobody would stand up for me because it was like being a survivor. Who was going to get voted off next? So I'm not here. I love Mary. I'm not here just to speak Mary. I'm speaking to each of you commissioners. When your employees are begging for help, listen. Listen to them. And they have been begging for help, and you've got others that are begging for help, and they're scared to come to you. I'm just telling you. You've had, I don't know how many employees walk off with 15, 30, 40 years experience under the previous management. And you got her with 24 years, and you got this one that's getting ready to retire, and you're going to be left with all new people. What you going to do? Do the new people know how to run it? No. Think about it. That's all I'm asking you to do. When the people are coming to y'all and begging for help, listen to them. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good afternoon, I'm Sabrina Thorpe, and I don't know Mary other than talking to her on the phone when I'm calling to pay my bill or when I come in. But she and her, but anyway, there are about 3 that when I call, they know exactly what to do, and I have called and talked to, I don't know who else, but they had no idea, but it was a new person. But I can say Miss Mary has always given me outstanding service, so I think her as an employee is an asset to the community and to the utilities. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else, any comments on? Nope.
My name's Holly Hatton. I've known Mary for a long time, and I've also known Aaron, and I think the world of both of them. When I heard what was going on, because I live in Peach County with Mary, I couldn't understand it because she is excellent at her job with customer service. You can teach people certain skills, computer skills and that stuff, but people skills who truly care, that you can't. That's hard to come by. And I just think that she's a good person, and like I said, I've known Aaron for a long time too. So I don't know what's going on with the commission, but obviously there's something, and it needs to be investigated and get to the bottom of it and get these people some training. Thank you.
I don't know, this problem related to the herd. I ordered new water meter 7 weeks ago. I asked her, all the time she write down and she go to the manager. After 7 weeks, nobody do anything about it. It's an inspection come, what his name is, Gary?
Gary.
Supervisor? Yeah. He come over there and he look at it, he said, okay, go pay $1,000. Then she helped me beginning. Then last week, 7 weeks later, last week I go to the utility department. I asked her, what happened to my application? Then she said, they cannot find out your application. All the time I saw she go to the manager, I don't know who they are. Then, I don't know, this is related to the her problem or not. I'm feel sorry too. You know, maybe that's my case make her problem. She do her job. And she go to the all-time manager. Right? Then, and still, what is my first application? Then I asked her, she said, put another application. Then I said, what about my check? Check is there. Why no application? So I feel like it. Wow, why everybody stop me? But I'm not sure what's going on. Need some investigator for that too. I put it into the water meter. Gary says, okay. 7 weeks. I put it last week, I put another application. So I feel she do my application. That's why I feel like maybe I do some mistake, maybe hurting to the hurt. So that's why I'm here. I feel sorry for her. Maybe I give her more trouble, but I don't know. So I hope they understand what I said. A lot of people.
I understood what you said.
Thank you, sir.
I understood what you said.
Yeah.
We're gonna work with that, right? Find out about his application, make sure that happens.
I promise it's fair.
Okay, any other comments from anyone else?
I forgot one more thing.
Okay.
You have to stand with me in front.
Yes, no, we wanna see you.
Okay, I'm shocked to this year, but I figured out thing that I need to say today. As far as, I remember she said something about somebody got hired and they're not really equipped, basically, for the position. I don't know too many hospitals, I don't know no hospitals that hire surgeons that never worked its way up. Why are we hiring somebody to handle an office and they haven't been trained at the beginning? They don't even do that at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Not even trying to be funny, I'm just saying facts, because I don't get a lot of jobs. Don't ask me to say that one, but yeah, I don't get a lot of jobs. And it's a you know, a chain that you go up, promotions. Why let someone come in and they don't even know where to start, you know, from the bottom? If you're the manager, you should know how to work everything up under you. You know? That's how I feel. I don't know how y'all work it, but that's just my opinion. That's it. I ain't got no more questions.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I did work the front desk at Upper Medford, and I had 155 calls when they come in, and I was the only employer that come to work due to people were out sick, COVID, kids sick, etc. I missed a bunch of calls, but I called every single one of those patients back, and they are dedicated again. Like I said, I've been there 26 years, and I'm dedicated, and that's the way Mary is too. I have had people cuss me out because they owe money, they missed an appointment. The doctors have a system, telephone system, where they can go in and listen to all calls. I've had my life threatened multiple times because we dismissed the patient for not coming to appointments. They owe the bill multiple times. I cussed out. Did it upset me? Did it change my mood? Yes, it did. It affected me. I went back and talked with the doctors. They listened to the phone calls. They do it every day to listen to see if we're doing our job right. I was affected by when it first happened, where they can listen to our phone calls, but now it helps because they can see. Has anybody ever been cussed out in here before? Does it affect your mood? Yes, it does. My life was threatened. I lost it. I just cried and booed, and we went in and talked. They said, do you want to call the police? I said, no. I said she was upset, she owed a bill, and I went and scheduled an appointment, told her she was paid, and literally, she read my life over the phone multiple times. She called back the next day and apologized, and I said, thank you for that. But you go through a lot answering multiple calls a day, and it affects you. But thank you again for listening the second time.
You're welcome. Any other comments? Well, I thank you all for your comments. We are now going into executive session. All right, thank y'all for coming back. We're back now in public session. Ms. Mary, we'd like to thank you for your career, your response to us. A lot of us know. And but a formal response will come from our general manager to you. And once he does that, then I guess the general manager and the lawyer make sure everything, we're all legal and bound. Okay? You'll get a response to you. Within 5 days, within 5 business days.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank all.
Any other questions? Any other items? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
After the motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Motion, second? Second. All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.